I didn't really know God at all. We didn't go to church. I never really had any introduction to faith or religion or anything like that. So as a kid, the first problems that I really started to see surfacing in my life were with anger. I'd have an angry outburst or something like that would happen at school, and I was always losing friends. And so it made things really difficult. I felt very isolated and alone. So I had this hole in my heart that I tried to fill with so many different things. I was just struggling to fit in. I really wanted to be a part of something. And so as soon as I started smoking and started drinking, all of a sudden I had all these friends that wanted to be around me, and it was very attractive. It started to make me feel good about myself. I guess it just I kept crossing lines. I would say that I'm not gonna do this, and then I would eventually do it because I wanted to fit in. And I was just so struggling to find my place in the world, and started selling drugs to sort of be able to do them. And then eventually that led me to crossing another line, which was getting involved with people that were using cocaine. And that's where my life absolutely got flipped upside down. I knew it was wrong to do the things I was doing, but I continued to do them because I was so addicted to the drug, and I just had absolutely no hope. Pretty much lost and broken, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Basically, I just reached this point where I couldn't take it anymore, and all of my friends had started abandoning me. I had no one really in my corner, and I got on my knees and I said, if there is a God, could you please help me? I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. And, I truly know now that God was with me that day. God was present. God heard my cry. I had sort of a moment of clarity where I needed the help. I started learning about addiction recovery and starting to look at myself and start that healing process. And I thought, if all of this is possible, this God really does care about me. And so at that point in my life, I really thought, I should start seeking after God a little bit more. And so at the time, I had a really good friend who was attending Celebration Church, and she just told me how amazing this church was, and talked about having a relationship with God. Well, I remember coming into Celebration Church, and I just absolutely loved the singing. And then I remember Pastor Dennis coming up and starting to share a message, and I was like, is this guy following me around with a video camera? He knew exactly what was going on in my heart and my life, and it just spoke to me, and that was not what I was expecting. I started attending every Sunday, learning more about Jesus and what he did for me. I said, there's no way I can deny this anymore. I remember quite well the Sunday that I raised my hand in the church, and it was the best decision I ever made, because I look at that decision as all of those bad decisions that I made before that day were completely wiped out. It didn't matter anymore. I was completely saved, and all of that stuff was in the past, and I could move on free from that and start a new life. God has given me purpose. God has given me passion. And God is always there. He's always ready. As soon as I turn to him and ask for help, God is always there. And that's such a comforting and wonderful feeling to know that God is always present and always willing to help.